Hi everyone, welcome back to the varCODE EdTech YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see how we can use context hook inside React.js and how it will work, right? So first of all, you need to understand why we use context hook in the React.js. So whenever you are going to manage state inside your whole application, right? So you are going to manage your state with the help of use context hook. Whenever you are using the use context hook, you need to wrap your whole React application inside the use context hook, and then you can use all the variable. Okay, I guess you are not understanding right now, so we are going to see an example how this use context hook is going to implement, right? So first of all, in this video I am going to cover how we can use the props to pass any information from parent component to the children components, right? Because React.js only support one way binding. You need to learn this, or you need to remember this, that inside the React.js it is only going to support the one way binding. You are only going you can only send any data from parent element to the children element, but you cannot send any data from children element to the parent element, right? Okay, so here first of all we are going to see how we can implement props. So here you can see on my left side of my screen, you can see that I have one React application, basic React application, and inside this is my base code. Okay, so later on the right side you can see that my React application is running, and also I'm using Vite right now. So you will see a little bit different syntax from React application. Okay, so here first of all I'm going to explain you how we can use the props. So here what you can do, inside the source folder you can create a new file with the name of file one.jsx, right? Inside the file one you can call one arrow function. Inside the arrow function, right, if rafc is not working inside your file one or inside any of your file, you can go on to the extension, search for this es7 plus react redux code snippet. It will auto complete your code, so you need to install it. Okay, so after doing this, inside the file one, you can directly call your arrow function here and save the file, right? And now you can go inside app.jsx. After this, you can call your file one here. You can see that my file one is now imported inside my app.jsx, right? So before starting with the props, you need to understand how we can differentiate from parent element and from the children element, right? So whenever, see, like here I'm calling this file one inside the app.jsx, right? So app.jsx will automatically become parent element and file one will become child component, right? So that's how this work. I guess you have understand now. So now if you want to pass any information from the parent element to the child element, you can go inside file one, and here you can give some properties as attributes, right? So here you can write props, and here we can pass hello from varcode tech. You can pass hello from varcode tech. Then you can go in the file one, you need to destructure your props, right? Whenever you are importing something, you need to destructure whenever you are importing props. Now here you can directly pass props. If you pass props here, you can see that hello from varcode tech is now on the screen, right? So that's how you can pass any information from the parent element to the child element. It means from the app.jsx to any of your element, right? Now if you can notice here that what I said before, like React.js is only going to support one way binding, it is not going to support two-way binding, right? So you can only pass anything from app.jsx to this file one, right? You cannot pass anything from the children component to the parent components. So simple as that. Okay, now if you have seen this how we can send any props from parent element to the children element, we are moving to the uh, use context hook. How we can use the use context hook inside React.js. So what you can do, inside the source folder you can create new file with the name of context.jsx. Inside the context.jsx, firstly you need to import React. So import React from React, simple. Now you need to import use context hook because we are creating the context, right? So you can import this create context from React. After importing this, you need to create one instance for using this create context hook. So we have this my context. You can make this letter capital, my context equal to create context. Now we have created one instance of create context with the help of my context, right? Okay, so later on we are now going to implement our use context hook. So export const my context provider equal to, here we are going to pass the children, and it will be an arrow function. Inside here you are going to return something. So what you need to return is, you need to return one function which is coming from the create context hook, right? So you can pass provider here, and inside this provider you need to pass children. So whatever we are, okay, so now we have created this file, right? Context.jsx, we have created this file. Now need to make this file as a parent element for all of your files, for whole of your application, right? You need to create this context.jsx as a parent component. So you can go inside main.jsx. If you are using Vite for this project, you will see the main.jsx, and if you are using React for the project, you are going to see the index.js file, right? Okay, so currently if you go inside the main.jsx file, in you need to wrap your whole app in your context provider, right? So you can go inside here, and now you need to call your my context provider. Now as you can see that whenever we are creating any file inside the app.jsx, that app will automatically become the parent element, but now we have created this app as a children element of my context provider. So whatever you are passing from the my context provider, it will be automatically available inside all the file, whatever the file you will create in this app, right? Okay, so now on, now what you can do, we have passed something from here, not yet. Okay, so what you can do, you can just create one value here with the name of const value equal to hello from varCODE at tech use context hook, and you can pass it inside here. You will see one argument with the name of value, and you can pass the value here. Okay, now as if you have passed already, you can go inside your file one. Currently you can see that we are importing the props, right? So you can delete these props from here. Now we don't need these props anymore. You can go inside your file one.jsx, delete this prop from here. You can also delete this prop from here. Okay, so now what you need to do is, you can need to call the use context hook here. Use context hook here, and also you need to import your my context which we have created before, right? So my context from dot slash context. Okay, so I have imported this from dot slash context file, right? So my context, you can see here we have this my context. So I have imported this my context inside the file one.jsx. Now what you can do, now you can just pass the, now you can create one variable const value equal to use context. Inside this use context you need to pass my context. Okay, and here you need to call the value. When you call this value here, you can see that successfully it has implemented the value inside my file one.jsx, right? Okay, so suppose if I have another file, so it will be file2.jsx. You need to do the same work. Firstly you need to create one new arrow function, and you need to import your use context hook here. After this you are going to import my context here, right? Now you can create one new variable const value equal to use context. Inside this use context, as a argument you need to pass this my context, and here also you need to pass this value. When you pass this value, and if I call this file2 in my file 2 in my app.jsx file, you can see that now I'm getting my use context. Whatever I have created the value inside my context file, I'm getting in both of these files, right? That's how we can use the use context hook Basically, whenever you are creating any state inside your variable, the use case can be whenever you are authenticating any user, you can store all the data inside the use context hook. And then if you want to pass that data in all the pages, for example, if you want any page which can only be accessed by the logged in user, so you can pass all the data of the user from the use context hook to all the files you are creating, and then you can directly implement the functionality to use if the user is logged in or not, right? That's how we can use the use context hook. And also, you need to remember the proper definition of use context hook, that use context hook is generally used to maintain the states inside our application. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much. And also subscribe to our channel, and visit our website varcode@tech, www.varcode.com.in. And yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you so much.